Outlander Season 8, Episode 8. In the forest, sees Fraser's Ridge receive a long-overdue visitor, along with a couple more intriguing twists. This installment in the Romantasy series' final season follows up on the devastation of Episode 7, in which Fergus Fraser sacrificed his life to save his sons from the burning print shop. Marzali and her family return to Fraser's Ridge to be with family, mourn, and figure out what to do next, especially regarding Percy Beauchamp's previous offer. Back at Fraser's Ridge, Jamie and Claire had some more revelations regarding what happened to Faith, ultimately learning from Fanny that their daughter was raised by a lace maker in France. This came with the discovery that Faith had been told to look for her biological mother on Fraser's Ridge, confirming once and for all that Fanny's mother truly was the daughter Jamie and Claire had lost. It seemed appropriate, therefore, to let Fanny know that they are her grandparents. Also in Outlander Season 8, Episode 7, William caught Lord John kissing Percy Beauchamp just after confronting Amaranthus about her knowledge of Ben's survival. William has been hit with revelation after revelation over the last couple of seasons, so while his anger at Lord John is rather misplaced, it's understandable that he would need some time to process the many secrets that have been kept from him throughout his life. This brings us into Outlander Season 8, Episode 8, as William heads to Fraser's Ridge to talk to Brianna, or at least that's what he tells himself. William has spent the last couple of Outlander seasons pretty angry, which is understandable. However, it was long past time for him to get some closure by accepting the newfound truths of his life. Thankfully, that finally happens in Season 8, Episode 8. William comes to Fraser's Ridge to talk to Brianna, whom he now knows as his sister and has grown very close to. However, as Claire points out, the real reason William was drawn to their North Carolina home is that he needed to work things out with Jamie. At first, William is reluctant to interact much with Jamie. However, Claire urges him to make things right. While she doesn't outright tell William that Jamie is destined to die in the Battle of Kings Mountain, she reminds him that, in a time of war, it's always possible that they will never see one another again. It's enough of a nudge that William nervously invites Jamie to go hunting with him in the forest. The hunting trip allows William to get some things off his chest and ask the questions he's been longing to ask. Jamie explains why he had to leave when William was still a boy and why he never looked back as he rode away from his son. It's not perfect, and there's still some hurt here. Still, it's a big step for the pair. Said and done, Jamie and William share a long and tearful hug. It's a sign that the final episodes of Outlander will see this pair's relationship flourish. Another development on the ridge comes as Roger and Brianna unload the rifles they smuggled out of Savannah. As Jamie and Buck discuss Brianna's sharpshooting skills, it's mentioned that her talent is why Frank used to call her Buckeye. The nickname stops Jamie in his tracks, since Frank's book, the one that foretells Jamie's death, is dedicated to someone he calls Buckeye. This answers a question that has been on Jamie and Claire's minds all through Outlander Season 8. They couldn't figure out why Frank would write a book that is essentially all about Jamie. They thought the man was taunting them from beyond the grave, trying to get into their head as revenge for their love for one another. In truth, Frank wrote the book for the same reason he taught Brianna to shoot and all he could about history. He was preparing his daughter for the life he knew she would one day have in the 18th century. Frank wanted Jamie to contradict history by surviving the Battle of Kings Mountain, thus ensuring that he would be around to protect Brianna. This knowledge strengthens Jamie somewhat. He now knows in Outlander Season 8, Episode 7, that Frank's book is written in good faith. He can trust it, and with any luck, it will help him to survive. Things continue to be hard for Fanny in Outlander Season 8, which can certainly be expected. Jane's death was a traumatic tragedy. It's something Fanny will never fully heal from. Of course, the process is made all the more complicated in Episode 8 as some local boys tell Fanny that Jane is burning in hell because she committed murder and then took her own life. Roger provides Fanny with some comfort. He reminds her that the laws of the Christian God are not so simple, and this inspires Fanny to go to the cairn Jamie established in Jane's memory to ask her sister for a sign that she is okay. Some curious happenings immediately follow this prayer. While searching for a stone to place on the cairn, Fanny sees a green gemstone in the river. When she picks it up, it cuts her hand and begins to crack down the center. Suddenly, Fanny hears a loud buzzing. This buzzing is nothing new for Outlander viewers. We know this is the sound that characters with the time travel gene hear when they come near the standing stones. While adults like Claire, Brianna, and Roger don't necessarily hear this from gemstones, children like Jemmy and Mandy do. The cracking of the stone is rather mysterious, but one thing is absolutely certain in Outlander Season 8, Episode 8. Fanny has the ability to time travel. The final moments of Outlander Season 8, Episode 8, come with one last twist. Previously, Lord John asked Percy Beecham to locate Captain Ezekiel Richardson, who had captured William in Season 7 before betraying the British Army. In Episode 8, Percy sends Lord John a letter stating that he succeeded in finding Richardson. Upon their meeting, as Lord John asks his old flame where Richardson is, the man himself appears and knocks Lord John unconscious. Percy doesn't look too happy with his betrayal, but it doesn't change the fact that he has put Lord John in significant danger. It's unclear what Richardson has in store for his new prisoner, just as it is unclear what his overall intentions are. He betrayed the Redcoats to join the rebels, but there is a sense here that Richardson has more selfish motives than a commitment to American independence. Given Richardson's proximity to Percy, it seems likely that he, too, would stand to gain from that offer previously made to Fergus Fraser. Marzali decides in Outlander Season 8, Episode 8, that she will take Percy up on the deal, acknowledge the Comte Saint-Germain as Fergus's biological father, and sell the land in the Old Northwest to use the money to rebuild the print shop. What Percy and, likely, Richardson do with the land remains to be seen. With only 2 episodes left of Outlander, we're sure to find out soon. We know that Outlander is all about relationships. Sure, there's a science fiction time travel element, with a little war thrown in for good measure, but at the root, it's all about how a group of people navigates all the emotions that surround difficult situations that pop up in life. For example, Marzali, Lauren Lyle, stands at the freshly plowed grave of her husband and shares the news with Jamie, Sam Hewen, that she has decided to take Percy Beecham, Michael Endall, up on his offer to acknowledge that her son is now the heir to the Comte fortune. She will use the money to rebuild the print shop, keep up her family's promise to fight the war with their words, and, hopefully, provide a place for her sons to continue the business in generations to come, including the baby that has not yet arrived. We all knew this announcement was just a matter of time, and as sweet as it was to think that Marzali had another piece of Fergus arriving in the near future, the more poignant moment was by far Marzali reminding Jamie that he was the only father Fergus had ever claimed. Now, then, and forevermore. Let's hear it for Sam Hewen's glassy eyes in that scene. With each passing moment, the big battle looms closer, and Jamie must do everything he can to prepare. He wishes that the rifles Roger, Richard Rankin, and Bree, Sophie Skelton, brought back were the new design he read about in Frank's book. The guns of the future don't require so much time shoving bullets and powder in the barrel. Bree reveals that she's seen something similar adopted by the American Army, and she's willing to see if she can adapt their dated rifles with it.